When it comes to choosing a school, parents who want the best education for their students look for academic excellence, skilled teachers, a safe school that encourages their values. Students want a school with competitive athletics, unique opportunities, and friendships that last a lifetime. Fairfield Christian Academy, the place where parents and students agree. Enrolling now at fairfieldchristianacademy.com.
It's a beautiful night for football. Hi again, everybody. Jack Davidson along with Caleb Yount and the FCA media team. Tonight, a Mid-State League matchup in the Cardinal Division. The Harvest Prep Warriors, coached by Milan Smith, record of 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the conference, take on the home team, the FCA Knights, coached by B.J. Queen, winless this season, 0-4 overall, 0-1 in the conference. Harvest Prep beat Fisher Catholic last week by a score of 39-7. FCA coming off a loss to Grove City Christian School by a score of 42-14. FCA will be kicking off left to right. Harvest Prep will be receiving, dressed in the white road uniforms with the maroon trim and numbers. FCA has new uniforms tonight. Blue uniforms, the home uniforms with the Knights across the chest. There's the kickoff by Caleb Waltz. It heads out of bounds, and we're underway here at New Lexington High School. Caleb, welcome to the broadcast. Who are the officials for tonight?
Well, Jack, we have the referee as Mr. Mike Moss, the umpire, Mr. Mike Wheeler, the linesman, Kelly Miller, the line judge, Tim Ganger, the back judge, Scott Welker.
Thank you, Caleb. Harvest Prep first and 10 now at the 35-yard line. Dupree keeps the ball. Now there's a pitch around the end. That's Sam Dupree. It's down to about the 22-yard line. First down for Harvest Prep. Great quarterback action there, had me fooled. So Sam Dupree is the quarterback. That is Fabian Cuvier, the ball carrier. Leaper on the stop. Cuvier is a 5'10 senior. So it'll bring up 2nd and 8 at the 21. Dupree, play action. Now he'll keep it. Looks like a broken play. Gain a couple. Blackwell down there on the stop. Also Caleb Waltz. 3rd and 6.
Well, after that first play, it looked like the Knights defense got off to a pretty rocky start, but they're holding up on these last two plays pretty well.
Dupree is changing the play. Cuvier to his left. Ferris to his right. That's an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down for the Warriors. Fourth and 6 on the 18. Knights defense looking for a stop here early on. 20 seconds on the play clock. Harvest Prep will send 2 receivers to the left. Cuvier, the lone back in the backfield. Dupree, back to pass, throws, incomplete. Warriors will turn the ball over on downs. The intended receiver, Judah Tutt. And the Knights defense holds.
That was right to his chest, and he was just unable to bring it in. Nice job by quarterback Sam Dupree on that.
First and 10 for the Knights, and their own 18. First possession of the ball game for them tonight. Jeremiah Lee, the quarterback. We'll check that. That was Caleb Lobenthal, the quarterback, and he gave to Jeremiah Lee. Little wrinkle there. Looks like Lobenthal will be the quarterback tonight. Lobenthal over center. Lee in motion. Gives to Lee. Hits the 20, 25, maybe the 26. And that'll bring up a third down, but we have a penalty flag on the play. Penalties on the Knights. It'll back them up.
That's not a way you want to start your opening possession.
So Caleb Lobenthal gets the start tonight. Puts Jeremiah Lee in the game as a running back. FCA's been a single running back team thus far this year, with Caleb Walls getting the majority of the carries. But now Coach Queen has two options. Now we got Lee at quarterback. Passing situation, throws over the middle, incomplete. Lobenthal was the intended receiver. So it looks like FCA will change it up here with different quarterbacks, perhaps on different situations tonight. We'll keep an eye out on that. That was a passing situation. Jeremiah Lee was the quarterback. Now we got Lobenthal coming in with the play, and Lee will remain at quarterback.
To go back to that last play, I think Lobenthal just got confused in the route he was supposed to run.
Lee back to pass. Looks, hits, and dropped. About the 6-yard line. That was Melvin Thomas coming in from his defensive end position to sack Jeremiah Lee, and will bring up 4th and long. Ball be marked at the 6-yard line. And Colin Blackwell will be back to punt. About 5 to 6 yards deep in the end zone. Low snap. Nice kick. It'll hit and go out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
Good field position to start their second possession for the Warriors.
That's about a 23, 24-yard kick for Colin. 1st and 10, great field position for Sam Dupree and the Harvest Prep Warriors. Savon Mitchell is wide left. Dupree back to pass, under pressure, throws, incomplete. Hunter Ferris, the intended receiver, out in the flat. Bring up 2nd and 10 as the sun sets behind the hills of New Lexington, Ohio. Good to have you with us here on the FCA Sports Network. 2nd and 10. Cuvier gets the carry, crosses the 30 to about the 29-yard line. I think they'll mark his forward progress to the 30, and they'll bring up 3rd and 9.
It was a great job by the Knights defensive line that time, getting in there, reading the run, and getting the stop.
Cuvier, the lone back in the backfield. Wide receivers to the left and right. Dupree looks, throws over the middle. It is incomplete. Intended for no one in particular. He had Melvin Thomas out there and Curtis Jones, and really split the pair. Wasn't close to any of them. So it'll bring up 4th and 9 at the 30. See if the Knights defense holds once again. A little confusion there. Harvest Prep as the wide receivers were getting ready to get set in their formation. Cuvier, the lone back in the backfield. Dupree back to pass. Blitz throws. Caught and dropped. Hunter Ferris on the catch. The Knights defense hole. They snuffed that one out, and that was Logan Roca on the stop. And so the Knights have a little better field position there. Caleb, starting at their own 26 now.
Yes, they do. And that's 2 turnover on downs for the Warriors offense. That's not a good game to start.
Excuse me, didn't mean to talk over you there, my friend. There's Lobenthal, gives to Lee on a sweep. Cuts up across the 30-yard line to the 32. Good first down gain of 6, and they'll bring up 2nd and 4. Ball marked at the 32. Lobenthal under center. Waltz the lone back. Lee to his left, give to Caleb Walls, who bowls ahead. Still moving the pile. Gain of a couple and bring up 3rd and short. On the stop, Deontay Waller.
Walls tried to lower his shoulder and get through the line, but he was just unable to. There were too many people there.
3rd and 3 on the 34, 7:10 to go. First quarter of play, no score here at New Lex. Lee in motion, gets the ball, hits the 34, 35, maybe the 36. Will be close to a first down, depends where they mark it. And we'll see what they call here. They're going to call for a measurement, or they're going to call for a first down. They're calling a first down.
Wow. Pretty good spot for the Knights.
He had to get to the 36, and he did so. The head referee was comfortable enough to call it a first down. First down of the evening for the Knights. And the ball goes on the handoff to Bobby Leeper. He crosses the 40 to about the 44. Nice first down gain for the Knights, and will bring up 2nd and short.
Well, the Knights running game got it off to a running start.
Lobenthal over center. Walls the lone back in the backfield. Leeper in motion, give to Walls, hits the 45, 50, first down Knights. Cuvier on the stop. You know, Caleb, it looks like the Knights have a better rhythm these past 2 games offensively than they have in the first 3 games. It looks like they're more comfortable running their plays. They just look better is the best way I can put it. Leeper has it. Hits the 45. Moves the pile to about the 41. They just look extremely comfortable out there.
They look a lot better than they have before.
That goes with playing, in the conference with your, the same size schools, so to speak, enrollment-wise. You might remember last year the Knights went 0-3 to start the year, and then they ran off a number of wins and finished in the with the Mid-State Cardinal title. Leeper on the sweep around left end. That's a first down.
Well, I'm not sure if the Knights are even going to start throwing the ball until later. I mean,
it's almost like the
working, they don't need to
wing
throw.
In a sense. It's almost what Coach Rob Carpenter at Lancaster runs, where you have running backs to the left and right with a lone setback, and you're able to hand off to 3 players, and Walds gets the carry, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage and maybe lost 1. What Lancaster does, though, is they'll start handing off to different running backs. Will hand off to other running backs. It gets a little confusing for the defense. I don't know if the Knights are going to do that tonight, but looks like they have their playmakers in Lee and Walds there. Now you got Lee running around the right side, hits the 35-yard line, across the 35. Gives Coach Queen some more options. So third and we'll call it 6 on that gain of 4. Ball's at the 34-yard line. Give to Lee on the sweep, and he will hit the 32-yard line. Gain of a couple, depending where they mark the ball. Now they're going to mark it at the 32. Gain of 2, and it'll be 4th and 5. Could be a long 5, close to 6 yards. Lee now the quarterback. 3 wide receivers to the left. Lee back to pass. Looks, rushed, hit, and dropped. About the 36, so the Knights will turn the ball over on downs with 3:36 to go. In the first quarter of play, still no score.
We're only a few minutes into the first quarter, and the Warriors already have 2 sacks. We're going to see how that plays out as the game goes on.
Challenge for the Knights is Harvest Prep. We've played them a couple times in basketball. I think this is the second time they've met in football, but they have Harvest Prep has an athletic team, a lot of athletes, and so that's going to be a challenge for the Knights in the sense that there'll be a speed and quickness to deal with. Dupree throwing long, incomplete. Intended receiver Judah Tutt, and Jeremiah Lee was on the coverage. The 39 points that Harvest Prep scored against Fisher Catholic last week, a lot of it was in the air.
Harvest Prep is definitely a fast team, and they're very strong also. They haven't looked strong offensively yet, but I don't doubt they will.
Well, that one play to begin with, Dupree on the keeper, but after that they've been stopped. Now here's the give to Terrence Walton. He's driven out of bounds after a nice gain. Lee and Leeper, Laubenthal there too. So it'll bring up 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. Mark the ball at the 44-yard line, left hash. Mitchell, wide right, wide left is Curtis Jones. Dupree with Walton, gives the ball to Walton. He is hit, dives across the first down marker for a first down. Brought down by Leeper and Gherkin. First down, Harvest Prep. .305 to go. Dupree gives to Cuvier. Hit and dropped. Gherkin on the stop. Probably gained 3 on that. We'll mark it at midfield. Call it 2nd and 7. 2:45 to go here, first quarter of play. No score. Sam Dupree at quarterback. Gives to Cuvier. Jukes across the 40. About the 37-yard line. First down, Harvest Prep. Colin Blackwell on the stop for the Knights. First and 10 at the 37.
Harvest Prep, it looks like they're trying to imitate the Knights now with their running style.
Walton, big hole, goes left side, hit by Laubenfeld, dropped, and we got a flag on the play. Might be a horse collar, or they're going to say, I think it's holding. Saw one official say hold. And it is on Harvest Prep.
Holding on the Harvest Prep. That'll back them up 10 yards. Still first down.
So it'll be first down and 20 at the 43-yard line.
The Warriors finally had something going there, and then the penalty backed him up.
Dupree throws right side, dropped. Intended receiver, Curtis Jones. They could have thrown a flag on that for legal procedure as Hunter Ferris was moving slightly before the snap. Bring up second and we'll say 15 at the 44. Actually, it's about second and 17. Scoreboard's incorrect. Cuvier. The ball carry up to the 41. They'll bring up third and about 13 with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter play. No score. The second division game for both teams. Harvest Prep beat Fisher Catholic last week, and FCA lost to Grove City Christian. Wide receiver to the left and right. Walton, the ball carrier, hit, still on his feet, across the 35, penalty flag on the play. Let's see what the penalty is all about.
Well, the Knights defense has looked pretty strong this drive. They've held a couple of times.
Now the officials are talking it over. Let's see. It will be a face mask on the Knights.
Face mask, the call on Fairfield Christian Academy. Incidental face mask.
So it's an incidental face mask, 5-yard penalty, still third down. Third and now manageable. It's about a 2 yards to go for the first down.
32 Warriors.
9 seconds on the play clock. Dupre gives to Walton, big hole. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Warriors. Terrence Walton on the 29-yard touchdown run with 43 seconds to go in the first quarter puts the Warriors up by a score of 6-0, the point after to follow. Dupree, the holder. Snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is no good wide left. Samson Sheet is the kicker. He missed it left, and so with a timeout on the field, 43 seconds to go. Here in the first quarter of play, the Knights are down 6-0 to Harvest Prep on the FCA Sports Network.
The FCA Sports Network is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstore. Was founded in 1953. They believe in giving customers the best possible value for their money spent. And if there is a problem, they simply follow the golden rule. This simple formula has stood the test of time. Big Sandy Superstore. Bigger, better. On Lancaster at Memorial Drive. Online at BigSandySuperstore.com. Well, Jack, that touchdown run will put Walton up at 41 yards of rushing so far this game.
Very impressive. Not that he's got 41 yards, but you're keeping stats and you're able to add in your head that quickly. It's very good. Must be a math major. No?
Nah, not really. Not.
So we have to call in the IRS to audit these things? All right. Chete is now ready to kick off, teeing the ball up at the 40. Here's the approach and the kick. Waltz has it. 25-30. Crosses the 35-yard line. Nice return for Caleb Waltz for the Knights. They'll take over with 36.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Harvest Prep leads 6-0. Lobenthal and Lee both were talking to Coach B.J. Queen. Let's see who's going to take the snap here. It'll be Lobenthal. Lobenthal back to pass, throws long. He's got Lee at the 45, across the 40, fumble, but he is ruled down by contact. First down, Knights.
Well, we knew Jeremiah Lee could throw the ball from last game, and Caleb Lobenthal can throw it too.
And that's good to see because that puts more pressure on the defense. They don't know who is going to do what as a quarterback.
I think that's exactly what Coach B.J. Queen had in mind when he switched their positions.
First and 10 at the 40 with 16 seconds to go. Lobenthal gives to Lee, round right end. Boxed in, he dives, and he might get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and time will expire. Timeout on the field, 1 quarter in the books. Harvest Prep leads FCA 6-0 on the FCA Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a
Who's our sideline?
Lancaster parent and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Back here at New Lexington High School, Jack Davidson along with Caleb Yount and the FCA media team. Vivian George, I believe, is our sideline reporter tonight. We'll try to have Vivian interview Coach at halftime. You see Coach B.J. Queen instructing the troops. So, Caleb, what do you think of that first quarter?
Well, Jack, after the first quarter, the stats don't lie. The Knights have 66 yards of total offense, and the Warriors 64. So it's looking like a very close game so far, even though the Warriors are up 7-0. We'll see how this plays out going into the second quarter.
It's been a good, close, nicely contested game so far. FCA's had its moments on offense and defense. Just have to put it together here on this drive. Start the second quarter at the 40-yard line. 40-yard line of Harvest Prep. 2nd and 10. Walsh alone back in the backfield. Caleb gets it, crosses the 40 to about the 38. Will bring up 3rd and 8, gain of 2.
Met first by Mark Woods of the Warriors. Gain of 2, it'll be
Bobby Leeper is still the leading rusher for the Knights, which is surprising considering Walls has had some pretty monstrous games the past couple.
Knights, you can see them gaining confidence game by game. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3, 2, 1, and the penalty flag is thrown. But FCA took a timeout before the snap. So with timeout on the field, FCA down 6-0, 11:19 to go in the second quarter in the FCA Sports Network.
The FCA Sports Network is brought to you by Service Master Clean by Todd George. Provides cleaning services for Fairfield County. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. Service Master Clean by Todd George is proud to demonstrate their commitment to excellence and their promise to do the job right or do it over. Service Master Clean by Todd George, 740-687-1077.
So Coach Queen was able to call timeout before penalty was assessed. And they'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Knights. Ball at the Harvest Prep 38-yard line. Lee, the quarterback, play action, hit and drop. Now he tries to pass it forward, and it'll be an illegal forward pass, I believe, on the Knights.
Tackled on the play was Jeremiah Lee. Flag on the play.
And that'll go against the Knights. That'll be intentional grounding.
On the Knights.
Loss of down, and it'll be fourth down for the Knights.
Fourth down and 8 for the Knights.
It's very
Mark the
disappointing
ball.
for the Knights. They already had something going on offense there and shut down by a penalty.
They'll mark the ball at the Knights' 49-yard line. Blackwell will be on to punt. He'll stand at his 36-yard line. Back in lone safety is Curtis Jones. Good snap. Booming kick. Jones will field it at the 18. Crosses the 30 to the 31. First down for Harvest Prep.
That could have been terrible for Harvest Prep, fumbling the punt, but he was able to recover it and get a decent gain.
By my unofficial calculations, a 32-yard punt and a 12-yard return. First and 10 for the Warriors, 11:04 to go, first half of play. Knights down 6-0. Dupree. The give to Cuvier. No, Dupree keeps it. Crosses the 35 to about the 38-yard line, close to the 39.
Well, that even had me faked.
Tackled by Colin Blackwell.
Did that on the first play of the game. He faked us out on that first play, and Dupree showing some good sleight of hand here.
Second and 1 Warriors.
We'll call 2nd and 1. Dupree keeps it. Round right side, hits the 40, 43, 45-yard line. Still moving. First down for Harvest Prep.
Sam Dupree, the ball carrier.
FCA tried to swipe the ball out of Dupree's hands. He kept hold of it. Gained a first down. First and 10 at the 47. Dupree gives to Cuvier. Up the middle. Across the 50. Walls and Blackwell on the stop. Good gain on first down. Will bring up 2nd and 5 at the 48. Two wide receivers to the left. Cuvier, the lone back in the backfield. Dupree gives to Cuvier off right guard. And he has enough for the first down.
Fabian Cuvier, the ball carrier. Met first by Bobby Leeper. First down Warriors.
So first and 10 at the 42-yard line. And timeout FCA. 9:27 to go first half. Knights down 6-0 on the FCA Sports Network.
The FCA Sports Network is brought to you by Central Ohio General Surgeon. They are physicians who are ready to and willing to perform invasive procedures for the wellness of their patients. At Central Ohio General Surgeons, your appointment includes time for examination and discussion, so please feel free to ask any questions at any time. Central Ohio General Surgeons can be contacted at 740-654-6213, and make sure you thank them for supporting FCA Sports.
I want to thank all of our sponsors. They've been so great to us over the years. So 9:27 to go here in the first half of play. Knights down 6-0. Harvest Prep with the ball at the Knight 42-yard line. I want to remind you we will come to you next week from Worthington Christian High School, as Worthington Christian has a football team this year, their first year of existence as a football team. So the Knights will travel up to Worthington to do battle against Worthington Christian next week, Friday night at 7 o'clock. Dupree, back to pass, hits Wilson in the flat. 40, jukes to the 35, 30, down the sideline. Touchdown, Harvest Prep, 42-yard touchdown pass. It's Curtis Jones on the reception.
Well, that puts Harvest Prep well over 100 yards of total offense at 128 right now, currently.
Chete on to attempt the extra point with Dupree holding. Good snap. Ball is down. Kick is up, and it is good. So 9:16 to go. First half of play. The Warriors lead the Knights 13-0 on the FCA Sports Network.
The FCA Sports Network is brought to you by Lancaster Perspective with Mike Miller. It's a TV show on Lancaster. In it, he adds perspective on Lancaster, Ohio businesses, Lancaster, Ohio events, Lancaster, Ohio hidden treasures. Lancaster Perspective with Mike Miller. It's informative and engaging on LSN TV, Lancaster Time Warner Channel 9, Mondays and Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Available 24/7 online at lancasterohio.tv.
Chete on now to kick it off, putting the ball at the left hash at his own 40-yard line. Dual safety for the Knights, Caleb Walls and Jeremiah Lee, standing at their own 15-yard line. How'd the cross-country team do this year? You're on cross-country, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
How'd you do this year?
The varsity boys cross-country team got first place in the D3 boys race at Lancaster Bob Reel, but that was last Saturday. We got second place on Tuesday this week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We certainly try our hardest.
Here's the approach and the kick. Gets by Caleb Walls, picks it up at the 5. Full steam ahead to the 15-yard line. Brought down by Quentin Pryor. Good Caleb in his sights at about the 30 and took off as a missile.
Well, I'm not down on the field, but I expect he looks pretty scary when he's running at you like that.
That's why you're up in the booth, right?
Yes, it is.
Me too. 9:09 to go here, first half of play. Lee, the quarterback, Walls to his right. Walls in motion. Quarterback draw. Lee gets to the 19-yard line, maybe the 20. It'll bring up second and long. Probably second and we'll say a long 5, maybe 6. Knights have to get to the 26-yard line for the first down, so we'll say second and 6, gain of 4. And we have an official timeout. Equipment issue. No, it's Jeremiah Lee is bleeding, so they're going to take some time to stop the bleeding. And Lobenthal will be in at quarterback. Roca wide left for the Knights. Walls alone back in the backfield. Give to Leaper. Hit in the backfield and dropped. Be a loss on the play of about 2. They'll bring up 3rd and 8. Third and 7. Now we got Andrew Gherkin coming in for the Knights. Still working on Jeremiah Lee. They're bandaging his left arm up. 6 seconds on the play clock. Lobenthal, low snap, picks it up. Going to run to the left. It's the 15, 17-yard line. Attempted strip of the ball there by Cuvier. Walton on the stop, and will bring up 4th and 6 at the 19. Punting situation for the Knights. Blackwell into punt. He'll stand at his 6-yard line. Jones and Cuvier back in dual safety. Good snap. High floating kick. Jones has it at the 49. 50, 40, cuts back, 30, 25, 20, cuts back 15. About the 12-yard line.
Well, Blackwell knew it all depended on him, and he made it happen. He made the stop after a great return by Harvest Prep that time.
31-yard punt. And let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it at the 11. It's about a 39-yard punt return. 1st and 10 on the 11. Dupree with Cuvier, the lone back in the backfield. The give to Cuvier, hit and drop. Caleb Waltz with good pressure there.
Excellent job by the Knights defense that time, making the stop by getting through the line by Caleb Walls.
Bring up 2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line, no gain. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Knights down 13-0. Five seconds on the play clock. Dupree rolling left. He's going to keep it. Flag on the play. Hit, and he'll get to the 7-yard line.
Isaac Payne on the stop.
Let's see what the flag is all about here. Might be a hold.
That's what I was thinking.
It is a hold on Harvest Prep. Second down for Harvest Prep. On a beautiful night for football. I tell you, that horizon out there has a lot of blue, purple, orange, and red. Just a gorgeous night. Dupree back to pass, throws long. He's got a wide receiver open in the end zone. Touchdown to Judah Tutt.
Well, it's a gorgeous night, and that was a gorgeous pass.
So that is another touchdown pass. Sam Dupree to Tutt. That was 26 yards. And the point after to follow. There's a snap, ball down, kick is blocked. Roca on the block. That's a second PAT that failed tonight for the Harvest Prep Warriors. So with 5:56 to go, first half of play.
Well, the Knights still yet to get on the board, but I don't think they're out of this game just yet, Jack.
I don't think so either. They just got to put it together. Let's talk about who our next sponsor is there, Caleb.
Fairfield Christian Church serves Lancaster at the corner of Columbus and Whittier Streets near the River Valley Mall. Pastor Trevor Littleton invites you to know Christ, go in Him, and share His love at 9 and 10:45 on Sunday morning. Learn more online at fairfieldchristian.org.
So the Knights will get the ball here on this kickoff. Lee and Walds back at dual safety. We got a flag on the play. Looks like it's an illegal substitution, and so they'll back him up 5 yards. Too many men on the field. They're going to back him up 15 yards. So they'll spot the ball here at the 25. Wow. So the Knights will move their kick returners up to the 30 or 35 yard line. Walls is at the 35. Lee is about the 30.
Samson Shete to kick off for the Harvest Prep Warriors. Back to receive Caleb Walsh and Jerry Lee.
Now the officials are talking to the Harvest Prep coach. He wants a further explanation. He's got a smile on his face, so he may not have liked the explanation, but he's accepting it.
At least it was just on a kickoff.
Yeah, can you imagine a 15-yard penalty on a return? That puts him in far better field position. Right now, the Knights stand to get the ball in good field position here as they're kicking off. Harvest Prep is kicking off at the 25. Now the officials are still talking to the Harvest Prep bench. Now we're ready. Here's the approach and the kick to Walls. Dropped it at the 38, picks it up at the 40 to the 45 and sneaks through to the 47. Great field position for the Knights. Caleb wanted to run with that ball before he caught it.
Yes, he did.
Still a good return for Caleb.
Yes, it was. He made the most.
So the Knights with the best field position I think they've had all evening, beginning the ball at the 48-yard line.
We saw Harvest Prep start somewhere in this area, but the Knights haven't yet this game.
Lobenthal in at quarterback. Walls in the backfield. Leaper in motion, gives to Bobby Leaper. Hits the 49 and dropped.
Bobby Leaper, the ball carried. Net by
Terrence Walton and Hunter Ferris on the stop. Gain of one will be 2nd and 9. 5:30 to go. First half of play. 19-0 the score. Harvest Prep up by 3 touchdowns. They've missed 2 extra points. Lobenthal over center with 5 seconds on the play clock. Give to Walls. He struggles across the 50. He'll bring up 3rd and long. Third and 6 at the Harvest Prep 48-yard line.
after a gain of 3 is 3rd and 6.
And now it looks like Jeremiah Lee will be coming in for the Knights at quarterback.
That's good news for the Knights.
Lee under center. Passes just behind Lobenthal.
Lee was under pressure and he just had to throw it away.
And the Warriors have gotten pressure on the FCA quarterbacks all night.
They've recorded 2 sacks so far.
And they've had a couple hurries, so 4:26 to go. See what the Knights do here. Lee comes in, so it looks like they're going to go for it. Roca, wide right. Now Lobenthal is at quarterback. Lee to the left, Leaper to the right, and we have a flag on the play.
Delay
a delay a game. Backs the Knights up 5 yards. Play clock expired. And let's see if the Knights will kick it away now or if they'll go for it. .4:20 to go, first half of play. Looks like they're going to go for it. And there's a timeout. Timeout for FCA as they were having some personnel issues there. They're just not sure who's going to be in, so it's best to take the timeout. Make sure you get on the same page. So 4:20 to go, first half of play. 19-0 Harvest Prep leads FCA on the FCA Sports Network.
Big Sandy Superstore was founded in 1953. They believe in giving customers the best possible value for their money spent. And if there is a problem, they simply follow the golden rule. This simple formula has stood the test of time. Big Sandy Superstore. Bigger, better. In Lancaster on Memorial Drive. Online at BigSandySuperstore.com.
See, the cross-country team has a race tomorrow morning at London. What time is that?
I run at 11:15, but I'm in the open race, so...
The open race. Earlier. What is the open race?
That's for the reserve runners.
Okay. All right. What's the main race called?
The varsity.
Varsity? Okay, so varsity and open? Very
basically
good.
Basically JV and varsity.
Okay, very good. Well, we wish you well tomorrow, my friend. 3 wide receivers to the right. Lee, back to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws. He has a receiver and be short of a first down. Lobenthal, I guess that's an incomplete pass. And so there'll be a turnover on downs, and Harvest Prep will get the ball in good field position. Mark the ball at the FCA 47.
Well, Lobenthal was hit in the chest with the ball, but then he was hit immediately by the defenders, so he wasn't unable to hold on to it.
How you like those new uniforms for the Knights?
When I first walked into school today, they were wearing them. And
is that right?
I noticed them immediately. I like them a lot.
How'd the players like them?
I think they like them. I think they were pretty excited about them.
Dupree gives to Walton. Up to about the 41-yard line. Nice gain on first down. Bring up second and short. Alan Blackwell doing a dance out there on the field trying to get a shoe on. We'll bring up second and we'll say 4 at the 40. Dupree back to pass, throws right side, has a receiver to the 37, maybe the 36-yard line. The receiver is Melvin Thomas, a junior. And that'll be a first down for Harvest Prep. First and 10 at the 36 with 3:25 to go in the first half of play. Harvest Prep will send 2 wide receivers now to the right.
Harvest Prep just keeps looking better and better offensively.
They're starting to get a rhythm here. And there's a flag on the play and false start on Harvest Prep. Back them up 5 yards, and it'll be first and 15.
Both teams so far have recorded 3 penalties.
Ball at the 41. .12 seconds on the play clock, and now we have a timeout. Harvest Prep as Coach Smith kind of put his arm up in the air. I think he wanted a play run, and Dupree didn't understand. So Harvest Prep takes their first timeout of the first half. Under 3 minutes to go, 19-0. Harvest Prep leads FCA on the FCA Sports Network. Now the FCA girls volleyball team beat Bern Union in a close match last night. makes them 14-2 for the season thus far. Next varsity volleyball games, a tri-match with Gahanna Christian and Gilead Christian. That'll be tomorrow, Saturday, at 12 at Gahanna Christian. And the golf teams had a 5th place finish at the sectionals last Tuesday. They barely missed the cut to move on. Their season has ended. We congratulate the golf team on a fine year. So Harvest Prep will now hit the line of scrimmage, 1st and 15 at their 41. Dupree gives to Walton, across the 40, 35-30, he may go. 15-10-5, touchdown Harvest Prep. A 41-yard touchdown run by Terrence Walton. That is Walton's 2nd rushing touchdown this year, or this evening. Comes at 2:46 to go in the first half. The point after to follow. Dupree the hold, Chate the kicker. Ball down, kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide left. Timeout on the field with 2:46 to go, first half of play. The Warriors lead the Knights 25-0 on the FCA Sports Network.
Terrence Walton has 89 yards of offense just himself so far. He's definitely going to be something to watch for as the game progresses.
I want to thank Caleb for keeping the stats. How is it watching a game keeping stats? You've done a great job.
Well, I try my best.
Do you have your own little system here?
A little bit, yeah.
That's good. You know, in the pros, they have people do it for them.
They also have computers.
Yes, all right. They have computers, too. We have fingers and toes. Ball marked at the 40. Receiving for the Knights, Caleb Walds and looks like Bobby Leeper. And a crescent moon off in the distance. And a beautiful night for football here in New Lex. Walds feels it to the 20. 25 over the 30. First down for the Knights.
The kickoff returns is where Walls really shines. He's broke a tackle in that one and almost broke a second tackle, but just tripped and is unable to keep his feet.
Very comfortable night here in New Lexington. Game time temperature was 70 degrees. It's fallen now to 64 degrees. The people have brought their jackets. This might be the last warm night we have for football. It'll get cold pretty quick.
I remember this game last year. I was up in Harvest Prep running camera. It was freezing. One of the coldest games we filmed last year.
Lobenthal hit. Still on his feet and dropped. Sacked.
It's the third sack for the Warriors so far today.
Looks like they're going to put the ball down at the 23-yard line. The Warriors have had great pressure on the quarterback this entire first half.
Their defense has done a nice job containing the run. And
so Lobenthal gets the play from the sidelines. He's at quarterback, Walls to his left. 3 wide receivers to the left, and the give is to Caleb Walls for a short gain. Bring up 3rd and looks like 19. They'll mark the ball at the 22, and Harvest Prep takes their second timeout of the half. 1:43 to go in the first half of play. Harvest Prep leads 25-0 4-0 over the Knights. Knights have no more timeouts. Harvest Prep has one. I want you to stay tuned, please, for our halftime interview with Coach B.J. Queen as Vivian George, our sideline reporter, is getting ready to interview Coach Queen. Vivian, as the rest of the FCA media team, does a great job.
Well, the Warriors' defense has done an excellent job so far, containing Walls to only 16 yards of rushing, whereas Cuvier has 33 and Terrence Walton has 48 for the Warriors.
You are a treasure trove of information tonight. That is great stuff you're giving. Appreciate it. That's very good. 3rd and 20. Leaper hits the 20 to the 25, maybe to the 26. Gain of, we'll say, 4. And Harvest Prep takes their last timeout. So the Knights will have to punt the ball away here. And Harvest Prep will be going for the jugular. Going to try to get the ball in good field position and make something of this minute and a half or so left in the first half. Mu Alpha Theta, FCA's National Math Honor Society, won 7 trophies at the 2014 National Math Convention in Orlando. This year's competition's in Salt Lake City, and Mrs. Ralph, who does a great job at the with the math department there, and along with Mr. Barry Garrett, they will be heading that up, and we wish them the best. Blackwell on the punt, standing at his 11. Wobbly kick, goes out of bounds at about the 48-yard line.
Blackwell's been busy so far with 4 punts.
We'll mark it at the 49, right in front of our broadcast position. First down Warriors, 1:31 to go in the first half. Dupree back, throws, it is tipped, intercepted by the Knights. That is Matthew Beatty on the interception. I think Gherkin got a hand on that on the blitz, didn't he? Was it Andrew Gherkin?
It looked like that to me. He's very tall.
Great play. Andrew, of course, this is his first year out for football. He plays basketball for the Knights, and no matter what sport you play, you can always use the length, and Andrew Gherkin had a great play there. Beatty, a great play to be aware to catch that live ball.
Andrew Gherkin's the tallest person in the junior class at FCA.
So 1st and 10 for the Knights with great field position, the best field position they've had all night. Laubenthal over center. And we have a penalty flag, too much time. Delay a game on the Knights. 1:23 to go, the first half. Knights are their own worst enemy here as they're shooting themselves in the foot with penalties.
That's 4 so far for the Knights.
Laubenthal over center. Rolling right, hit, and dropped. Wow. Take your pick. Deontay Waller. Marcus Goins. Judah Tutt all in on the sack. Knights quarterbacks have been under pressure all night.
Yes, they have. 4 sacks in 1 game so far.
We have 20 seconds on the play clock. Both teams out of timeouts and a minute to go here in the first half. Leaper gets the ball. Hits the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Bobby Leeper, the ball carrier.
He is met by Terrence Walton and dropped at the 47, close to the 48, and it'll bring up 3rd and 23. Ball's at the 47. The Knights can run one more play as there's 30 seconds on the game clock, and now 18 seconds on the play clock. Lobenthal, fumble. Knights fall on it. I believe they have recovered. 10 seconds to go, and that should do it for the first half.
Again, it looked like Walls tried to run before he had full possession of the ball.
And the first half of action is in the history books.
So, after one half of play, the Knights are down 25 to nothing to the Harvest Prep Warriors. And the Knights have some work to do here in the second half. They're going to be talking to hopefully Coach B.J. Queen here, trying to get his attention as he's walking off. He's looking, and looks like he's going to come over to the sideline to talk to Vivian George, and so we're going to have an interview with Coach B.J. Queen here momentarily.
It'll be interesting to see how he views the Knights with only 87 yards of total offense.
So, here's Vivian George with Coach Queen.
I'm Vivian George, and I'm here with Coach B.J. Queen. Coach, how'd you feel about the first half?
We're doing pretty well. Like I said, we're mixing it up between the spread and the wing tee. We're gaining yardage, but kind of the same problem that we keep getting all year long so far is just punching in the end zone. We've got to do better getting inside the 20.
What offensive changes have you made for tonight's game?
I think you're seeing that we're running the ball a lot more tonight than what we've done in the past. We have some different kids running the ball. Jerry Lee running the ball as a wing back. Get Bobby Leeper involved, and hopefully you see more of that in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Great, thank you.
This halftime update was brought to you by Service Master Facility Services by Todd George. FCA. Thanks for watching FCA Sports Network.
Yards of total offense for the Warriors. It's pretty good.
I studied at that last part.
These waters were woven into the culture of Native American tribes. The descendants of the early Europeans built a business here based on agriculture. And today, this unique destination in the central Ohio countryside comes to life with stories and memories centuries old. The Fairfield County Historical Parks invites you to amazing Rock Mill. Above the falls of the Hocking River Gorge, here together, nature and man have created some truly American stories that you'll want to experience with the entire family. Visit us or learn more about Rock Mill and the largest wooden water wheel in the nation at historicalparks.org.
Posting isn't private. Beware what you share.
Back here at New Lexington High School, Jack Davis along with Caleb Yount. It's a halftime score of Harvest Prep leading by a score of 25-0. Caleb, FCA has shown glimpses. They haven't been able to put anything in the end zone, but they look better than they've had in the past 4 weeks, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They look a lot better this game than they have. I'm not sure if I'd go so far to say as they look better than they did against Grove City.
Grove City, they look pretty good. It looked like they're putting it together. But you said, I think you said at the right before half they have 4 penalties, maybe 5 now. They really shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, there's 4 penalties for the Knights.
And Sam Dupree has had an excellent game. He's had a hit on a couple long touchdown passes, also some touchdown runs by the running backs. I think Walton has a couple touchdowns. So FCA has met at halftime, and hopefully they'll put something together to close the gap here in the second half. They're down 25-0. I think the running clock rule starts in the second half when you're down by 30. So they want to try to keep it within shouting distance, so to speak. This is the FCA Sports Network. Jack Davidson along with Caleb Yount. I want to remind you that you can watch these games on LSN TV, Lancaster Time Warner Digital Channel number 9, or on YouTube at lancasterohio.tv. Next week we'll come to you. It's a road game, road trip. You done road trips before?
Yes,
They're
I
fun,
have.
aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Great time. We're going up to Worthington Christian. Playing up there. This is their first season in playing football. And Worthington Christian is always competitive no matter what sport FCA's played them in. So next week should be a good game. I hope that you join us. If you're not doing anything Friday night, come up to Worthington. Join us, say hi, and then we're down to Bern Union the next week.
Jeremiah Lee is standing on the sidelines, but he does not have his shoulder pads on. And he didn't warm up with the team. That's not a good sign for the Knights. He had 20 yards rushing and 20 yards receiving.
So here's the opening kick of the second half, and it comes down to Bobby Leeper. Leeper across the 35 to about the 36. First down for the Knights. Jeremiah Lee is on the sidelines, I understand.
With 40 yards of offense with Jeremiah Lee alone, that almost consists of half of the Knights' total yardage, where they have 87. The Warriors, 165.
Caleb Laubenthal is the quarterback. First and 10. Give to Leeper, and he is hit in the backfield and dropped. Tackle by Deontay Waller. 5'10", 165-pound junior linebacker.
Excellent job that time reading the play and making the stop.
So Lee being on the sidelines, it's a loss for the Knights. He's one of the playmakers on this football team. Laubenthal, fumble, picks it up, hit, and dropped. Judah Tutt drives Laubenthal into the ground and bring up 3rd and long. So the Knights, depth-wise, could ill afford another injury. We talked about it all season, how the Knights, their numbers are down. The good news is that, as I understand it, we've got some more players coming out, right?
Yes, they do. Corey Solly and Isaac Nayers. Isaac Nayers, a sophomore, and Corey, a freshman.
So that'll add to the depth and give the Knights some more bullets in the arsenal, so to speak. So that's good to see. 3rd and long. Laubenthal will tuck it and run to the 35, 40, 45, first down and more, runs out of bounds. He's hit out of bounds. It should be a flag. Unnecessary roughness, tack 15 onto that, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights at about the 30-yard line.
Dead ball, personal foul on the Harvest Prep Warriors. And 15 more yards to the end of the run. First down.
So 10:20 to go, 3rd quarter of to play. Knights have the ball at the Harvest Prep 30. Great play by Laubenthal to tuck it and run. Pass wasn't there, and He gained the necessary yardage and more for the first down. 1st and 10 at the 30. Waltz, the lone back in the backfield, gets the ball, hits the 30, 25, tumbles to the 21, close to a first down. It'll be 2nd and short. As Chris Berman likes to say, Caleb was rumbling, bumbling, stumbling for that first down play. Fumble. Lobenthal has it, covers up, and it's a loss on the play.
The Knights are now well over 100 yards of total offense.
Caleb is limping a little bit as he goes to talk to Coach Queen. Play clock starts. It's Caleb Lobenthal getting the play from Coach B.J. Queen. 3rd and 6 at the 26. Waltz. Gain of about 4. It'll be 4th and short for the Knights. And with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, the Knights will go for it. 4th and 2 at the 22. I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Walls is the ball carrier here.
Caleb Walls is within 1 yard of Cuvier for the Warriors.
Give to Caleb. Nice hole. First down, Knights.
This run will put him over Cuvier.
1st and 10 now at the 17. Knights have a nice little drive to start this 3rd quarter of play. Walls up the middle, still going down to about the 11. Close to a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd and short. Caleb, this has been the story of the Knights these past 2 games. They've shown glimpses where they can move the ball. Just now need to put it in, punch it in.
Yes, it has. You really can't tell Leah's on the sidelines. They look great so far this second half.
Back to pass. There's a pitch to Leaper. 15, cuts back. Still on his feet inside the 10, driven back. Looks like they're going to give him the 10-yard line, and we got a penalty flag on the play. Might be a hold on the Knights. They're backing up as officials are looking over to the Harvest Prep coach. Legal motion on the Knights. That'll back them up 5, and it'll be placed now at the 16-yard line. And it looks to be about 2nd and 9. Scoreboard says 2nd and 10, but on the far side, looks like the yard marker gives them about a yard gain. Now they're going to call timeout, and it looks like they're talking to the yardage folks on the far side. Now Coach Smith for Harvest Prep is saying, look, if they had a 5-yard gain, it should back them up another yard. I think that's what they're talking about. He wants the ball spotted differently, and it looks like they're going to keep it there. 2nd and 9 on the 16. Clock is running, 7:40 to go. 3rd quarter of play, 20 on the play clock. Lobenthal gives to Walls. He's hit in the backfield and drop. Loss of a couple on the play. We'll bring up 3rd and close to 11. We'll say 3rd and 11 at the... It's inside the 19-yard line.
The Knights really hoping to score this time.
One wide receiver to the left. Lobenthal over center. Broken play. Hit. Flag on the play. Lobenthal slides down at about the 23, and let's see what the flag is all about. Gonna back the Knights up. It's looks like a legal motion on the, or legal shift on the Knights. Now they say they decline it. So it'll be 4th down. They'll mark the ball at the 23-yard line, maybe the 24, and it's timeout FCA. Timeout on the field with 6:48 to go. Third quarter of play. Knights down 25-0 on the FCA Sports Network.
The FCA Sports Network is brought to you by Service Master Clean by Todd George. Provides cleaning services for Fairfield County. They will help you get clean and stay that way at work and at home. Service Master Clean by Todd George is proud to demonstrate their commitment to excellence and their promise to do the job right or do it over. Service Master Clean by Todd George, 740-687-1077.
The Harvest Prep gets their instructions defensively from the sideline. Now FCA will put the ball in play at their own 23-yard line. 4th and looks to be about 16 to go. Lobenthal being chased, throws. He's got a receiver. It looks like that's Sean Kuhn. Gets up to the 19, and that will be a turnover on downs. Harvest Prep will take the ball over inside their 20-yard line.
The Knights have 108 yards of total offense so far after that drive. Before the drive, they were at 87.
We'll mark the ball at the 19. Sam Dupree gets his instructions from his coaching staff, and Harvest Prep immediately sends 2 wide receivers to the left. Cuvier is the lone back in the backfield. Dupree gives to Cuvier. No, he keeps it. Hits the 20 and driven back about the 23-yard line. Looks like they may mark it at the 22-yard line. Gain of a couple, 2nd and 8. Ball be on the right hash. 6:10 to go, third quarter of play. 2 wide receivers to the left. Cuvier, the lone back in the backfield. To the right, Sam Dupree. That gives to Cuvier off left guard. Cuts back, across the 30. Penalty flag on the play is enough for the 1st down. We'll see what the flag is all about.
Fabian Cuvier, the ball carrier. Flag on the play.
Looks like the officials are going to mark it off on the Knights. Face mask on the Knights. 5-yard penalty, incidental face mask. 1st down for Harvest Prep at their own 38.
6 penalties already this game for the Knights, and that's looking like a factor.
Harvest Prep sprints to the scrimmage line of scrimmage. Dupree, play action, rolls right, hit, and drop. Nice play there by Josh Barr. Barr on the stop, bring up 2nd, and looks like they gave him about a half a yard, so we'll still call it 2nd and 10. Ball at the 39. When we start at 38, we'll call it 2nd and 9. Judah Tutt wide left. Curtis Jones wide right. Jones in motion. Cuvier with the ball. Up the middle to the 45-yard line.
Cuvier shoved over his blocker. I think if he had followed his blocker instead of shoving his over, he might have gotten a couple more yards, but he's a good running back. He's got 45 yards so far this game.
Runs north and south. He doesn't, he's got his mind made up. He'll hit the hole quick. Harvest Prep, a good-looking football team. Their only loss is to Bexley. First game of the season.
The Knights play Bexley later this year.
5 seconds on the play clock. Dupree gives to Cuvier, or that's Walton. He spins, hits the 45-yard line, no gain, and it'll be 4th and 3 with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter of play.
That was Terrence Walton, the ball carrier. Stopped for no gain. It's 4th down and 3.
Well, the Knights defense is held this time around and looking pretty good.
And the Harvest Prep Warriors will go for it up 25. 2 wide receivers to the left. Walton, the lone back in the backfield. Jones and Tutt split wide to the left. Dupree steps away. He's got plenty of time on the play clock, 22 seconds on the play clock.
The Warriors have already turned it over on downs 2 times this game.
3:22 to go in the game clock. And we got a flag on the play, and it's, I'm going to say too much time, but the play clock had 23 seconds on it. They must have started it late. It's the only thing I can think of because the back judge threw the flag. Now they're going to talk about it. That's why Harvest Prep was taking so long, because they looked at the play clock and saw that they had plenty of time, so they're going to whittle the play clock down as they did. Now they're going to say no flag. They're going to pick the flag up because I think that's exactly what happened. The play clock was showing them they had more time, not according to the back judge. So because the play clock was wrong, or right, as the case may be, they'll have a do-over. 25 seconds on the play clock, 3:19 to go in the third quarter. Waiting for the officials to get set. They are. The play clock starts. Dupree. There comes end around. First down and more. And that is Curtis Jones going for the touchdown. And the player is down for the Knights, and that looks to be Andrew Gherkin.
Well, that's not good for the Knights. Andrew Gherkin has recorded a number of tackles so far this game.
That would be a 55-yard touchdown run by Curtis Jones. That comes at 3:05 to go in the third quarter of play with the point after to follow. So as we wait for Andrew Gherkin to be attended, we'll talk a little bit about the FCA Sports Network and who is one of our sponsors tonight.
Big Sandy Superstore is one of our sponsors. They were founded in 1953. They believe in giving customers the best possible value for their money spent. And if there is a problem, they simply follow the golden rule. This simple formula has stood the test of time. Big Sandy Superstore. Bigger, better, on Lancaster at Memorial Drive. Online at BigSandySuperstore.com.
So Andrew Gherkin walks off under his own power. He might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. Now he's going to jog off. So Andrew looks good. Coach Hooper is here tonight watching the game, and I imagine he is happy to see Andrew jog off. You never want to see one of the main cogs in your offense for the basketball team get hurt. You don't want to see any kid get hurt. So, point after to follow. Ball will be marked at the 10. Here's the snap, ball down, kick is up, and it is good. FCA has some good pressure, but the kick is good. So with 3:05 to go in the third quarter of play, it's 32-0 Harvest Prep on the FCA Sports Network.
Harvest Prep has scored 5 times, and just on those scoring plays, they have recorded 193 yards just on the scoring plays.
So the big plays really are the difference.
Yes,
Tonight,
they are.
FCA has not. They've had some. They haven't had really a big play. They've had gains of 20, 25 yards, but not like Harvest Prep. Harvest Prep has had that big play ability tonight, and that's really how they beat Fisher Catholic last week. They had an 80-yard touchdown pass and a long touchdown run, and they're doing the same thing to FCA tonight.
Well, that run of 55 by Jones is the longest of the game so far.
So FCA will have Leeper and Walls back in dual safety. There's the kick. Walls has it. Across the 20, 25, close to the 35-yard line. First down, Knights. And I believe we'll have a running clock now until FCA gets the ball, gets the score down to within under 30. So a running clock until FCA scores. .245 to go, third quarter of play. Kuhn in motion to the right. Now Leeper in motion, give to Walls, hits the 35 to about the 36-yard line. Second and long. FCA had a running clock against Grandview. Grandview is a perennial football power. Harvest Prep, a good showing this year. 3-1 on the season, looking to go 4-1 against the Knights. And after this game, it'll be the halfway point of the football season. Walls hits over left guard, about the 39. Gain of 3, and it'll bring up, we'll say third and 6. 1:45 to go.
Caleb Walls is the top rusher for the Knights with 45 yards this game. The next closest is Bobby Leeper with 27. Then after that, it's Caleb Lobenthal with 26. Then Lee with 20.
Lobenthal gets the play call from the sidelines. 10 seconds on the play clock, down to 8, 6, 5. They may have to call a timeout. 2, 1 to get the play off. Lobenthal steps up. He's hit. Tries to pitch it to Leeper, and then record a quarterback sack.
That's the 6th sack of the game for the Warriors. They're really good on rushing the passer.
They're going to call that an incomplete pass. So 4th and 6 at the 39. Blackwell into punt. He'll stand at his own 24-yard line. Cuvier and Jones back in dual safety. Inside the 35. Good snap. Booming kick. Hits at the 32. Goes inside the 30. And it would be about a 33, 34-yard punt by Blackwell. No return. 27.8 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Knights' Jeremiah Lee injured in the first half of play, and he's sitting out in warm-ups now, in his warm-up clothes. Knights can ill afford any more injuries. Andrew Gherkin got the wind knocked out of him at that last defensive play that went for a 55-yard touchdown. Now he puts his helmet on. Harvest Prep with the football. 12 seconds. Clock is running. 8, 7, 6. Give to Cuvier. Swings it to the right. He's got a lane. Puts on the afterburners and he's gone. Touchdown, Fabian Cuvier. 72-yard touchdown run for Cuvier. With the point after to follow. Fabian Cuvier with the touchdown. And once again, the big play capability.
That puts Cuvier over 100 yards of rushing just by himself alone.
That comes at the end of the third quarter, the point after to follow. Knights had good pressure last point after. There's a snap, the ball down, kick is up, and it barely makes it through the upright. So at the end of the third quarter, heading to the fourth, the point after is good, and we have timeout on the field. The FCA Sports Network brings you Harvest Prep, and FCA Harvest Prep leading 39-0.
Before that impressive run, Caleb Walls, and Cuvier were tied for 45 yards of rushing both, but with that 72-yard touchdown run, that puts Cuvier at 117 yards of rushing. The next closest rusher for the Warriors is Terrence Walton with 48. Actually, it's Jones with 55 on his one touchdown run. That was his first rushing run, but he had 42 yards and a touchdown receiving.
So the FCA Knights will change ends. Be going right to left now on your TV screen. Ball teed up at the 40. Running clock rule in effect with the Knights down 39-0. Leaper and Walls back at their own 18. Here's the kick, short pooch kick. Fielded by the Knights.
Zach Hassel will
Zach Hassel
stopped around the 40.
One of the shortest players on the field. Knights get a first down to start the fourth quarter.
I said earlier Andrew Gherkin was the tallest in the junior class. I think Zach Hassel may be the shortest.
Jared Walker now will quarterback for the Knights.
We saw a little bit of him last week against Grove City Christian.
The give.
Ryan Washek on the carry.
Is to Washek.
Stop for -5 yards.
Now Andrew Gherkin comes in, so that's good to see. Loss of 3, second, 13 at the 38. Walker gets the play from the sidelines. 5'8", freshman.
Caleb Lobenthal is on the sidelines icing his knee.
Washek tries to bounce it out to the right, and he'll lose yardage.
Ryan Washek, the ball carrier.
We'll bring up third and long.
Warriors, Hunter Barris. It'll be third down for the Knights.
3rd and 18 at their 33. And that'll bring up a fourth down. Washek with the carry.
He did get past the line of scrimmage that time.
He's tackled by James Johnson.
Well, Coach Queen is getting some well-needed experience for some of the younger kids too, but with 6 healthy bodies on the sidelines, you can ill afford another injury. Snap, there's the kick, high kick. It'll hit short of the 50, now it'll bounce out of bounds. Harvest Prep will get the ball in good field position.
Out of bounds at the 41-yard line of the Knights. First down, Warriors.
So they'll mark that at the 41-yard line. It's a 7-yard punt, no return. And the clock is running with 9:45 to go in the football game. Stay tuned afterwards as we'll have A word from Coach B.J. Queen after the game. Caleb will have the stats. We'll talk about next week as well. New quarterback for Harvest Prep. That's Daniel Bangura, 5'9" freshman, flag on the play.
We have him listed as a running back and a defensive back.
Face mask on the Knights.
That's 7 penalties for the Knights.
So the big plays of Harvest Prep, along with the penalties, have come to hurt the Knights tonight. When you get a chance, if you can just add up all the big plays, what the yardage was for Harvest Prep, I think it'll be interesting at the end of the game.
There's 193 yards just on the
so
scoring
far.
plays.
Wow. There's a short gain by Terrence Walton. They'll bring up second down and looks like 6. Blackwell and Leaper on the stop.
I'm sorry. I said 193 before I had added in the 72 yards from Servier. So that'll be 265.
Oh, what are we going to do with you? I won't tell Mrs. Ralph, okay? Or Mr. Garrett. It's almost 300 yards just on, there's a bad snap. Bangura falls forward for third down now. That's close to 300 yards on big plays tonight for Harvest Prep, and that's really the story of the ball game.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. Said coming in that they have playmakers, and they certainly do. Big play capabilities for Harvest Prep. Walton gets the carry, and he's dropped for a loss. On the tackle for the Knights is Wyatt Underwood. Get the game clock down to about 7 minutes. 39-0 lead for Harvest Prep. It'll be 4th and 5 at the Knights' 23. Harvest Prep is just going to take their time, run some clock. There's 10 seconds to go on the play clock. In fact, they may just let it go down and might call a timeout. 3, 2, 1, and there's a timeout. Timeout on the field. Harvest Prep takes their first timeout of the second half. Each team now has 2, and with 6:37 to go. In the ball game, Harvest Prep leads the Knights 39-0. I want to remind you that you're watching the FCA Sports Network on YouTube and Lancaster Time Warner Channel 9. Jack Davis along with Caleb Young, the FCA media team. Next week we'll be coming to you from Worthington Christian High School. That's Friday night at 7 o'clock. If you're not doing anything, come up the road and join us and root on the Knights. Then the next week after that, we'll be on the road down to Sugar Grove. That, I believe, is Fair Week. So Fair Week will be at Byrne Union. And the football season will be coming quickly to a close. 4th and 5 at the 23. Clock is running. Walton has it and is dropped for a loss on the play. Wonderful play there by Matthew Beatty and Caleb Walls. And that'll be a turnover on downs for the Knights.
We've heard Matthew Beatty's name before. He was the one who caught that interception right before halftime.
The Knights have some of their younger players coming in again, which is really great to see because they work so hard, and to be able to play under the lights on a Friday night, it's what a football player in Ohio in high school dreams of. So Walker at quarterback Washik to his left. Give to Washik around right end. He's hit and dropped for a loss. Bring up second and long. Under 6 minutes to go for the Knights. In the past, when FCA had a bigger squad, they would keep the first teamers in or second teamers because you would have a JV game on Saturday morning. There's no JV squad, so this is how you get your younger players experience. Walker to Washik. Might have lost a yard and it'll be third down. All these plays are important for these players and the coaching staff so they can evaluate and they can teach. They'll look at the game film, make corrections, and all of them will try to improve for next week. That's the educational system at work for high school sports. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 4:55 to go in the ball game. And we have a timeout, Harvest Prep. 4:53 to go in the game. 39-0 Harvest Prep over FCA on the FCA Sports Network. Cross-country team runs in London tomorrow. My partner Caleb will be running. What time do you hope to have tomorrow?
I'd like to be under 20 minutes.
20 minutes. And that's what, 3.1 miles?
Yes, it is, a 5K.
Take me 20 minutes to go 100 yards, and you're going to do 3.1 miles in 20 minutes. It's pretty impressive.
Looks like the Warriors have started some substitutions of their own. Most noticeable, number 74 in the defensive line.
Third and 14 at the 24.
Number 74 is a sophomore.
Clock is running. 4:40 to go in the ball game. Walker. Give it to Washik. Nice gain there for Ryan. They'll bring up fourth down. 4.5 to go in the ball game. Alan Blackwell will come on to punt. Mark the ball at the 20, looks like the 27-yard line, maybe the 28. See, they mark it at the 27-yard line. Harvest Prep getting their subs in. Now the Knights getting in formation with 5 seconds on the play clock. Booming kick by Blackwell, hits the 45. Bangura moving to the right, and he is brought down right in front of our broadcast position at the 46-yard line. We got a Knight down on the play. That's Sean Kuhn. He's helped up by Caleb Walls. And the Warriors have a first down in Knights territory. They'll mark it at the 46. 3:42 to go. We'll start the clock when the players get set.
I thought I saw a block in the back in the punting play.
Well, you might have. You probably did, but the key thing is the refs didn't see it, or they didn't call it, care to call it.
If they had called it, that would have been penalty number 5 in the Warriors.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
See, I would trust 16-year-old eyes than my eyes at 58. So if you saw it, I say it's a good bet that you saw the block on the back. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3, 2, 1, and the penalty flag is thrown. Delay a game. And they'll back them up 5 yards. And that's, I think, a little display of sportsmanship for Harvest Prep, because the play clock, as it runs out, they don't stop the clock, the game clock. They still keep that clock moving, and now it's at 2:55 to go and counting.
Well, that'll be penalty number 5 for the Warriors.
Now they break the huddle. It'll be 1st and 15. at their own 49. 2:42 to go. Walton dances to the left, kicks it out to the sideline, and he may go. He does. That's a 51-yard touchdown run for Terrence Walton.
That's his second touchdown of the game. He had a 41-yard earlier.
So he has 92 yards rushing on his touchdown runs. Point after the foul, that comes at the 2:30 mark of the fourth quarter. 45-0, Harvest Prep with the point after the follow. Snap, ball down, kick is up, and the kick is good. So 2.5 minutes to go in the ball game. So 46-0 Harvest Prep lead over FCA here on the FCA Sports Network. FCA was making a game of it. They were down 25-0 at the half. Even though it sounds bad, they were moving the football and shooting themselves in the foot, but it's been all Harvest Prep. Been all Harvest Prep here in the second half. The running clock just had a heart attack up here as we saw the coaching staff to our right pull the cable in the extension cord, and we thought they were pulling ours. We thought we were going to be off the air. We're still on the air. Thanks be to God, and here we go with the kickoff. Washek with the ball, up the gut, puts a move on, 40, 50, 40, 30, 25, 20-yard line.
There's some
Ryan
yardage for Ryan Washek.
He broke that first line of containment, and it's 1st and 10 for the Knights with a chance to score here late in the game. 2:03 to go.
Well, before we had our heart attack, I was about to say I thought Cuvier was sitting pretty with 117 yards of rushing, but Walton just overtook him with 128 yards.
Andrew Gherkin comes in now. Going to be split wide to the right in the slot. And now we got a timeout. The Knights says they have, so they're trying to get kids in. They are, want to make certain they got the personnel in. Everyone plays in the right position. So instead of the confusion and taking a penalty, they'll take a timeout with 1:47 to go. And that should leave the Knights with one more timeout in the ball game. 46-0 to score. And Ryan Washek put the Knights in great field position with that kickoff return.
He had a couple runs for negative yards a couple drives ago, but I think he made up for all those on that run.
Showed great speed, but you see the speed of Harvest Prep.
They certainly got some very fast players on that team.
Kuhn hit and dropped. Tackled by Andrew Howes, 5'8", 240 pounds. Tell you, there's two big defensive tackles for Harvest Prep. Andrew Howes is a 5'8", 240-pound freshman defensive line. David Vasquez, number 74, 5'6", 400 pounds. You can't move those guys off the line of scrimmage. And Washek is dropped in the backfield at the 25. And we got under a minute to go in the ball game. How would you like to block one of those two young men?
As I
they
said,
look like they are as big as some pro athletes.
yes, they are. They're certainly a lot bigger than me.
And you know what? They're athletic, too. Third down. Give up the middle to Sean Kuhn. Gets up to close to the 20-yard line, and with 14 seconds, we'll see if the Knights let the play clock and the game clock run out. And they will. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the ball game. Final score here in New Lexington, Ohio. It's the Harvest Prep Warriors 46, the FCA Knights nothing. Story of the ball game is all the big plays that Harvest Prep has completed tonight. We'll talk about that with Caleb in a minute. We want to remind you that the FCA Sports Network, brought to you by Big Sandy Superstore, founded in 1953. Find them online at bigsandysuperstore.com. Service Master Clean by Todd George. Service Master Clean by Todd George is 740-687-1077. Central Ohio General Surgeons can be contacted 740-654-6213. Fairfield Christian Church is one of our sponsors. You can find them online, fairfieldchristian.org. Sheriff Dave Phelan and his program this week with Sheriff Dave Phelan on LSN TV, Lancaster Time Warner Channel 9. Also, Lancaster Perspectives with Mike Miller on Lancaster Time Warner Channel 9. We'll be talking with head coach FCA football coach BJ Queen, sponsored by Service Master Clean, and Vivian George will have the interview shortly. Today's broadcast is a high school media production by Fairfield Christian Academy students, students announcing, students on camera, students producing and mixing. Thank you for listening and supporting FCA Sports Network. Big thank you to the FCA media team for their support of today's broadcast. You had Caleb Yount joining me. I'm Jack Davidson, Vivian George on the sideline. Cameraman Connor Harrison, Emily Green, Ian Parrish, Caleb Peters. The director is J.T. Burcham. Director assistant is Sam Herdman. Graphics and audio by Abby Nilsson. And Harrison Poole is your TriCaster. That's the FCA media team. And Caleb, as we end tonight, let's talk a little bit about the stats that you so dutifully performed. What do you have to share with us?
Well, the Knights finished the game with 145 yards of total offense, Walls with 45 of that, Lee with 20 yards rushing, 20 yards receiving, Leeper with 27 yards rushing, Lobenthal with 26 yards rushing, and Sean Kuhn with 7 total yards, 6 yards rushing, and 1 yard receiving. And for the Warriors, we have 377 total yards. Cuvier, a very dynamic back, had 117 yards rushing, and Walton with 128 yards and 3 touchdowns, I believe.
Any other stats that you find noteworthy there?
Well, there were a couple big plays by the Knights, most notably Matthew Beatty's interception right before the half, and Ryan Washek's 80-yard touchdown, kickoff return.
To put him down at the 20. Now, Harvest Prep opened the scoring in the first quarter at the 43-second mark. Walton with a 29-yard touchdown run. The point after was no good. Dupree to Jones on a 42-yard touchdown pass with 9:16 to go in the second quarter made it 13-0. Dupree hit Tutt on a 26-yard pass play at the 5:56 mark. The point after failed, and it was then Walton on a 41-yard touchdown run with 2:46 to go in the first half, and it was 25-0 at the half. Third quarter, Harvest Prep got on the board. Jones with a 55-yard touchdown run. The point after was good. Covier had a 72-yard touchdown run. The point after followed was good, and that was at the close of the third quarter. Then Walton with a 51-yard touchdown run with a point after to follow good at the 2:30 mark of the fourth quarter. So the final score, Harvest Prep 46, FCA nothing. Harvest Prep goes to 4-1 on the season, 2-0 overall in the conference. FCA at 0-5, 0-2 in the conference. Our next game will be against Worthington Christian, and that will be next week. We'll come to you on the FCA Sports Network. Some other games following that Worthington Christian game. On the 10th, we travel down to Burn Union, take on the Rockets. We'll be back here at New Lex on the 17th to take on Bexley. Then we travel up to Millersport on the 24th, take on the Millersport Lakers, and what a great story that is. Millersport had like a 46-47 game losing streak. Now they're 4-0, chance to go 5-0 tonight, and they were one of the top-ranked teams in Central Ohio, and even received some votes for the top 20 in the poll. So Millersport is a great story. We travel up to Millersport on the 24th. Did you, or maybe you remember that Millersport used to be FCA's home field a number of years ago.
I don't remember that.
Yes. When FCA started, they started and they had a home field up at Millersport. Travel up to Millersport. And I remember I did a game one year during the Sweet Corn Festival, which was pretty nice. You saw the rides going out, and the we didn't get any sweet corn though. JT didn't buy. He bought hot dogs for us tonight, but no sweet corn. And then FCA finishes up senior night on the 31st of October against Fisher Catholic here at New Lex, and that game has usually been played at Fulton Field. It's turned into be a great rivalry. Fisher Catholic and Fairfield Christian, two similar schools enrollment-wise and size-wise, and FCA and Fisher Catholic just last year, and not only in football, but basketball, baseball, volleyball, you name the sport, they've had some wonderful tussles on the athletic field. So, Caleb, you are going to be running tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Up
I
in
am.
London, Ohio. What time is that meet for you?
I run at 11:15.
What time is the varsity
That's
run?
earlier than I.
Is that right?
Yes, it is. I think it's 10:15.
Now, have you ever run up in London? Do you know anything about the...
I have. I ran up there my freshman year.
What kind of course do they have?
Well, they run it actually on the Lancaster Country Club golf course.
On the London golf course?
Yes, they do.
Really? Well, watch out for the stray drives. If someone slices, I don't want you to get conked on the coconut there. So you run on the golf. That's got to be a pretty venue.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It's a very nice course.
Now, where do you have a home course for FCA?
No, we do not.
So it's all road matches, all road meets then, huh?
Yes. Basically.
How do you guys train? Do you just run in the streets, or do you have like a course that you run to train on?
Well, it all varies. Sometimes we'll run through the trails and stuff, up and around Canal, Slate Run, and Chestnut Ridge are some of the places
No,
we
you
like
don't
to run.
run up there. You drive, and then
Yes,
you'll run
we
the trails,
drive
right?
and then run around there.
I tell you, if you run from Fairfield Christian up to Canal Winchester, that's quite. You guys are in shape.
Yeah, it's just about 20 miles, I think.
Yeah, but that's a pretty area up there.
Yes, it is. We like to get training for the hills and stuff that we encounter on some of the courses.
Final score: Harvest Prep 46, FCA nothing. Thank you for watching FCA Sports on LSN. Here's Vivian with Coach Queen.
Okay. Coach, how'd you feel about tonight's game?
You know, it was a rough one. You lose 46-0. You know, you're never going to feel happy about that. But I'm proud of the boys. They're working hard. We're getting better each week, and we just keep trudging along, and the first victory will come.
You guys play Worthington Christian next week. What do you expect from them?
They're a young team. I think they've had football for 2 or 3 years now. They are a spread football team, so we'll have to defend that. So, like I said, we'll get our defense on that, and then next week we're gonna have to run the ball, complete passes, and get on the scoreboard.
Good luck next week, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching FCA Sports Network. Join the Knights next week when they play Worthington Christian.
In 1929 in Chicago, a gentleman by the name of Marion Wade, a former minor league baseball player, started the company. It was just a moth-proofing company then. In 1952, it expanded to carpet cleaning and pioneered what is now called outsourcing. And the Sidwells wanted a community that had a lot of churches, had a lot of soccer opportunities, their kids love soccer, and a good Parks and Rec department, so they chose Lancaster. And so in 1980, they moved the franchise here in Lancaster, to 6th Avenue. But then in 2002, Todd George, current owner, purchased the franchise from them. And in 2004, he bought a building that's on Mulberry Street, and that's where the franchise is located currently. I'm Jay Johnson, General Manager of Service Master Clean by Todd George, where we guarantee if it's not done right the first time, we'll do it again.
Service Master Clean by Todd George.